And we are live.
We back.
Hey, for real, we back for real. The tandem is back.
Man, that was a long 2 weeks, man. It
Man.
felt like forever. But I'm back. We here to bless y'all today.
Man. Oh, but yeah, glad to have my co-host back, man. It's a little different doing it without you. I was like, man, I ain't got nobody to,
Say, where my dog at?
So, but my boy back. I told y'all he's coming back. And we're gonna get straight to it. The topic is perseverance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, questions. What is perseverance to you?
Perseverance to me. So I've been thinking about this a lot, and I talked about it a little bit on Wednesday in Bible study because coincidentally we was talking about Revelations, and there came a point where it was talking about disciplining your flesh or whatever. And to me, that's a huge part of what perseverance is. Like doing what you're supposed to do, even when it's hard, even when you feel like, you've reached your breaking point. It's just like when you think about something like lifting weights, like a lot of times when I first started lifting weights, as soon as I felt that lactic acid build up a little bit, I was done with it. I was like, man, this junk burn. Put this junk down. What are we doing here? Like, why am I doing this? I'm doing it all just to burn my arm up. Then you get home, you be all sore and stuff. But perseverance comes in when you feel that lactic acid build up and you continue to live. Because and the thing about it is why you persevere is because you have something better. You want to get to a place that's better than where you are right now. So I'm lifting weights and I feel that lactic acid build up. When I feel that lactic acid build up, that means my muscles are being destroyed, which are causing them to grow, which is causing development to happen. So that's what I want. And that's why perseverance is so important, because it causes you to grow. It causes you to develop and go beyond where you are right now. So,
man, that's a fact. I just think because the last thing I did was boxing, and I just think about you get to a point where my arms would be about to fall off. Yeah. Like they literally felt like they were about to fall off. My shoulders, like it was just sore. Like, and my trainer be like, jab, jab. Like, dog, I can't jab nothing. But the thing was, it was like the more he seen I was tired, the more he made me work. Yeah. And it was like, and it's all mental. Like perseverance starts in the mind. Yeah. Like a lot of this stuff, it don't be, a lot of people quit, but it's not based off them not being able to do it. It's just based off the fact that they think they can't do it. Yes. You ever seen somebody big trying to lift weights and they can't lift nothing? Like you look at them like, bro, or not even, they don't even have to lift. You ever seen somebody big on the court but soft, like, or doing any sport but soft? Bro. Like, bro, you have enough muscles to literally like run straight to me, like through me. Yes. Like you should be putting me on the block and doing all this stuff. Facts. But mentally, you're not tough. Right. You don't think, they said, I remember something about like, they said an elephant was scared of a lion. And the elephant is one of the biggest animals ever. Yeah. But the elephant is scared of a lion based off the fact that mentally they weak. The lion strong mentally. They like, I don't care that you
I think it might be smaller than that though. I think it's a mouse.
They scared of a mouse?
Yeah, I think elephants are afraid of mice.
It's even worse now. It's even worse now.
Which is crazy to think about though, like seriously, because it's like a mouse is like a millionth of their size. Like a millionth of their size. And for them to be afraid of a mouse, which is a millionth of it, it's like you said, it's all mental. And I just think about when you just said, sitting here saying that your trainer was like, jab, jab, jab. It made me think like, okay, he's trying to make the work second nature to you. He's trying to make the action second nature to you. And that's what perseverance will get you. It'll get you to the point where, okay, this is easy. Like I can do this in my sleep now because I've worked so hard. I've gone beyond where I felt like or where I believed that I I could be for so long that I'm just doing it. And now what come after that, you got to go to another level.
Facts, because the thing about perseverance, I was just thinking about the thing about perseverance is you persevere at this level, now you at a different level. There's always another step. There's
Yeah.
always another level. So you got to sit here. Yeah, you have persevered through that, but now there's another trial coming. You know,
Facts.
it may not come like the day after. It's gonna come around though. You gonna get trialed somewhere else. You
Yeah.
know, and you have to continue to persevere.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah.
go ahead, bro.
Yeah. You got to continue to persevere. And the thing, like, I can tell you for myself, like, sometimes, like, I have this thing in my mind where I'm like, if it's not perfect, I don't want to do it at all. Like, everything has to be in a row. Like, something that I'm kind of growing out of is, if it's not perfect, I don't want to do it because I'm a perfectionist. Everything got to be right. But perseverance, that's not what perseverance is about. Perseverance says, even though I make a mistake, even though everything wasn't the way it was exactly supposed to be the first time, perseverance says, okay, let me go beyond that and continue working at it, continue getting better at it, continue getting stronger, continue getting faster, like working through that. Cause like he said, it's all about the mental toughness. And sometimes I stop myself before I even begin because of that fact. Like, it got to be perfect. Everything got to be in a row. But that's not what perseverance is. Perseverance is, even though it's not going to be perfect, even though everything may not look the way that you want it to look at this very moment, you still got to go do it. You still got to push beyond just that one little fact in order to get to that next level that you're trying to get to. So,
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Why is perseverance important to the faith?
perseverance is important to the faith. Perseverance is important to the faith because, just like we said, man, like, we go through so many different things as, just number one, as people, but number two, as believers. Like, we go through so many different things, like, because everything that we face in life, God is trying to build something in us or tear something off of us.
Facts.
And we've never come to the point where we've arrived, like, we're that perfect person or that perfect being. So perseverance is important because it's going to help you get or remain in the faith, because it's a lot of things that we experience in our faith. Like, I can tell you for myself, one of my biggest things is allowing people to say things that if I wasn't saved, I wouldn't allow them to say. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's because for me, like, I've learned as I get older, like, people talk crazy. People
Mm-hmm.
talk. I knew that from a young man, because when people talk crazy, I'm gonna punch you in your face. But as I get older and I'm maturing in my faith, I'm realizing that I only want to punch you or hit you or be act violent towards you because it's a pride factor that comes in. Like,
Yeah.
if I allow you to say that, then I look weak or I'm a punk or whatever. But perseverance says, nah, you can say what you want to say. You can continue. I'm gonna continue to let you say what you want to say. I'm gonna address it, but I'm not gonna go where I want to go with you because it's just not where my faith dictates I should go with it. So I have to persevere beyond my own mindset because, again, it's not all physical. This is a mental battle
Facts.
more than anything, or even persevering beyond my fleshly desires. Like, I'm not a perfect person, so before I got married, I wanted to do a lot of stuff. Even in the faith, I wanted to do a lot of stuff because, as people, you get to the point where you get lonely. Um, you feel like you don't have nobody, and that's just because that's from an ignorant perspective. You feel like you don't have anybody, but Christ is always there for you.
Facts.
It's an ignorant perspective, but I got to the point where I allowed my loneliness to overshadow who Christ really was to me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to the point where I did recognize that Christ was there for me, um, it's not like the feelings went away.
Mm-hmm.
They were still there. I still wanted to go and talk to the chick over there, talk to the chick over here, like trying to, for lack of a better term, get my rocks off. But I still wanted to do that. But perseverance says, no, you gotta stay focused on the prize. What's beyond you overcoming these
Mm-hmm.
lustful desires? What's beyond you getting over that filthy thought process. What's beyond that? And
Yeah.
I had to get to the point where I got beyond that in order to, you know, become or step into being the person that God wanted me to be. And we go through stuff like that as believers all the time. So if we don't persevere, then we're gonna be stuck at square one
Facts.
forever and ever.
Facts. Yeah, because this life, this walk has a lot of challenges. Just think about it. There's just a lot of people. You got the world doing all type of crazy stuff, and you got a standard. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. But the world telling you do this, do that, do that, do you know? And then you got TV. You know, you got all type of stuff around you that is that's trying to pull you away from the faith.
Facts.
So if you don't have perseverance to stay in the faith, you're gonna be wooed to the left and the right. You're gonna be, following some other stuff, following this. Now I'm doing this. Nah, God, not, I don't, really, I don't want to go to church. I don't want to do, now because life then got hard, life then got hard. You now going back to different things or whatever like that, like death and everything like that. When a lot of people struggle, like when death happens, there's a lot of people just go away from the faith when perseverance should kick in, and I have to pursue God the more, because now my heart broke. My heart is, I miss this person.
Right.
So in that time, that's when you should pursue God more, not go away from him, but a lot of people go away, the perseverance has to click in. And the more you use perseverance, the more it grows. Like the more it grows, it's a muscle. The more it grows, So now, okay, for instance, let's say we in a boxing ring and I get hit with a punch. Now there was times I'm sparring. I remember sparring and I got my lip busted. Like I was in the middle of a fight and whatever like that, and I felt blood in my mouth. Like I got hit with a jab. We trading jabs. I got hit. I'm feeling blood in my mouth. I'm like, man, this nigga, this was my thought. I was like,
hurt dog.
This nigga just bust my lip. That was my first. I was like, this nigga bust my lip. I was like, all right, bet. But I said bet, and I'm like, all right, yep, I got something. I'm about to get you back, and I end up dropping him 2 times or whatever like that. I didn't get dropped in that spar. I just got my lip busted, and I ain't like it. I was like, nah, bro, I ain't gonna just let you, bust my lip, whatever like that. But the thing was, I could have curled up and been like, oh, I can't. I quit, man. I could have just got beat up because he ain't going to stop unless, they tell him to stop. He doing his job, whatever like that. But my perseverance said, hey, nah, we ain't having that. Nah, I've been busting my butt for too long. I've been working too hard to just let you defeat me. And that's what we got to do with the enemy. I've been working too hard. I didn't came from this. I'm not going to let this trial, this addiction, this whatever bondage type thing, this what you trying to do, I'm not going to let it defeat me. I'm going to walk past it. I'm going to run past it. I'm not going to look back. I'm not going to look back. I'm going to continue to move forward.
Right.
And that's the mindset we got to have. We have to have that mindset. I don't care what you try to do. It will not work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Yeah. So just sitting here thinking about it, like our scripture, the race is given to the swift, neither to the strong, but to he who endures to the end. But when you persevere, it teaches you that endurance. And I'm just thinking about it like, a lot of times, like people feel like, oh, I'm the fastest. If you the fastest runner, and you running a marathon, which you got to run several miles, but you a fast guy running a 100-meter race. And you trying to use that same speed running for 5 miles,
you cooked.
It's over with. Your lungs is gonna be shot. Your wind gonna be gone. Or you thinking about a power lifter who's only used to lifting usually 1 or 2 reps of weight. So you going if you going for reps, if you putting up weights for reps as opposed to that one rep like power lifters do, if you going up trying to use that same strength for reps as you do for that 1 rep, it's not gonna benefit you at all. That's why it says it's given to the swift nor the strong, because you might have these tools that'll work in certain scenarios, but they don't work in this scenario.
Mm-mm.
So you have to have that perseverance in order to build that endurance. It teaches you how to go beyond what you're used to, and when you go beyond what you're used to, then your tolerance for things it goes up.
Yeah.
Your tolerance for things goes up. So you got to persevere. Like, it's so funny to me, and I was thinking about this, how the word literally teaches you the fundamentals of life. It teaches you the fundamentals of life. Like, if you can take everything in the Bible, every principle in the Bible, you can apply it to life, to business, to family, to community, to outreach, to anything that you could possibly think of. You can apply the word to it, and this is just one of those things. You apply this biblical principle to your life, I promise you, your life will be different. It will
Yeah.
be very different. And like, I'm still learning how to persevere beyond things,
Yeah.
because it stuff be hard, man. Like, over these past few months, me and my family been going
Talk about
through
it, bro.
a lot of stuff, bro. And it's like, okay, God, what the heck? What the heck going on? Like, what are we supposed to do in this situation? Like, money is short. Lose a car, like lose a job. Like, it's just a lot of different things that have been going on. And I got to the point where I was like, I was standing in the living room, and I was like, I just started laughing. And I'm like, man, God got to do something. He moving something, because this is just too much stuff going on. Like, literally, back to back to back. Um, how did it happen? Okay, totaled my car. Um, After I totaled my
Tell
car,
them how you totaled the car.
bro, I listen. Okay, bro, like, I'm in the fast lane. I'm on my way to work.
Wait. First, start with the first car. Start with the van.
Okay,
How the van got messed up, and then okay, go ahead.
it's
Go
just a
ahead.
lot of stuff, man. So, y'all know, earlier this year in Michigan, we had the floods. Like, the rain was coming down like crazy. So my van is parked in our garage on the lower level of our um of our apartment. So it rains, it floods up the entire garage. Like, you could see the point on the wall where the water stopped, and it was above the hood of the car. So I try to start the car, it did not work. So of course, when stuff like this happens, you can call FEMA reimburse you for some money for the stuff that you lost. They didn't give us nothing. They gave us no dollars. And mind you, we hadn't had that van very long. We spent, what did we spend? Like $6,000 on that van, and it was gone in literally a day. And then going forward, man, it was so many things, bro. Like, going forward after that, um, I hurt my back. I couldn't walk. Like, literally, I could not walk. I was feeling like an old man. My wife had to help me to the bathroom. Very humbling experience. It lasted for like a week, but it was a very humbling experience. And then fast forward to my car, driving to work 3:30 in the morning, and I know it's deers. It's usually some deer on the road. So this particular morning, I didn't see any deer. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. I don't have to slow down too much. I could keep going to work, because I was a couple minutes behind. So I'm like, I want to keep my pace up. And I'm in the fast lane. I'm probably doing 80. All of a sudden, deer jumps out of smack. Car spinning. I passed out for like a few seconds. I only woke up because I heard the car spinning. And I'm like, Jesus, please stop. Please stop. And we get to the other side of the lodge, and I'm stopped, finally stopped in the grass, and I get out the car. I look at the car. When I tell you my engine was smashed in, my battery looked like a pop can, and somebody had just crushed that mug with their fist,
Oh
with their
wow.
hand. And I get out. Thank God it was somebody on the side of the road, because I was literally in shock. If that person wasn't there, I probably would have been sitting in that car. I wouldn't have thought to call the cops. I'd just been sitting there because I was in shock. I was shaking and everything. I could barely walk when I got out the car. And I looked down the road, and I go down to see the deer. The deer was huge. 6 pointer, if that makes any sense to anybody on his antlers. He had 6 points. and it's a piece of the vehicle still stuck in his side. So that just tells you how hard the impact was. Aside from the fact that my battery was dented in, and my engine was dented in, and my battery was crushed. So that happens. Then fast forward a couple weeks, I get COVID. In the midst of me having COVID, literally, well, before I got COVID, my job calls me because they like, you missed days. And it was like, okay, you went over half a point. We're going to let you go. Mind you, it's people in that place currently still in there with 25 points. The limit is 10. 25 points. And they choose me out of all the people with a half a point over to say, okay, we're going to let you go. The next day, I found out I had COVID. So when I tell you some perseverance was really required over these past, I would say like 6 months, perseverance has definitely been required, and God has literally been building me and teaching me. Did I want to just say, okay, forget it sometimes and just go do? I thought about illegal stuff. Like sometimes my recourse is illegal. Do something that I won't even say illegal. I would say do something with my own hands.
Yeah.
That's the recourse.
Yeah.
It's do something with my own hands. And God is like trying to get me to the point where, no, you have to trust me. Like wholeheartedly, you have to trust me because it's so much. I feel like it's so much in my hand right now. I can't afford to fumble. I can't afford to fumble any of it. I have 4 kids and a wife. I cannot afford to be without a job at all. I can't afford to be without anything. But God is like, no, I have you in my hands. Like to the point where our finances getting low and we like, God, we need you to do something. The next day, we get $1,000 in our check from the IRS talking about child tax credit, which we hadn't received in 3 months.
Come on.
In 3 months, we hadn't received it. But I am a firm believer that we only received it because we decided, okay, God, we're going to put it in your hands. We can't do nothing. It ain't nothing that I can do at this point to bring in any more finances, to the point where I applied for unemployment and they denied it. So God is like, no, you can't maneuver your way out of this. You have to put your trust solely in me. In me. And now I got a job that pays more.
Come on.
They talking about in the interview, I ain't worked one day yet. They talking about just because of the way that I speak and the way that I present myself. I came in there, the lady was like, thank you for coming interview ready. And I guess people just don't come interview ready, but that's not how I was raised. I came interview ready. She like, thank you for coming interview ready. And I'm in there, I'm sitting in the interview and they talking about giving me a raise already to a team lead. So
come on.
It's just the favor of the Lord. And it's crazy because I had another job and the starting pay, I had another opportunity. The starting pay was higher, but the schedule was going to be crazy. And these 2 jobs was there. I'm like, okay, this job, I'm going to start off at $25 an hour. I ain't going to tell you how much I'm going to start off with the other one.
Come on.
But it's a little less. But these people immediately, okay, in the next 3 months, we trying to have you be beyond. We trying to have you in some type of management position. In the next 3 months, because the leader, he said these words verbatim, and the manager was like, if I don't have you somewhere higher in the next 3 months, there's something wrong with me.
Let's go.
And I'm like, oh, okay,
let's go.
Okay, God, make the decision for me.
Let's go.
To the point where the people I interviewed for both of them, and I had an initial interview with the other job. They were supposed to send me an email because I was supposed to have my second interview today. They never sent the email. And I'm like, okay, God is making it. He's making the path plain. He's making it plain for me. I just have to walk.
Yeah.
But it only came because I had the wherewithal to persevere. Like,
yeah,
I couldn't. God wasn't giving me he didn't give me no excuse.
Yeah.
Not to follow his voice. He gave me no excuse. And sometimes, like, God, he'll make it super plain for you. Like, he'll make it plain. You just gotta walk down the path. You just got to walk down the path. And sometimes it's scary.
Yeah.
Because it was scary. I look at my baby. My baby is 5 months.
Yeah.
can't make it. I can't say, "Oh, baby, daddy lost his job. You can't eat today." No, I can't do that. You cannot do that. There's no way that I would be able to explain to a child who can't speak.
She gonna be crying. That's it.
Exactly. It ain't no excuse. Feed me.
Yeah,
Feed
I'm
me. And that's
hungry.
it. So I really had to put my trust in God, but it was tough. But we made it. We here.
Man, I've been waiting for this. Like, I've been waiting for that story, because I knew, like, the thing is, while I watched and heard my bro in his trial, all I did was pray for him. But I prayed for him, and then I got excited. I know it's crazy, but I got excited because we know the God that we serve.
Facts.
And I know if it's going to keep raining, then eventually it's going to be a rainbow. Eventually you're going to see a rainbow, So I knew God gonna bless y'all. Like, I knew it. I was like, I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it, because I know God not gonna allow for you to go through certain things if he not gonna show you his hand. That was
Facts.
just God trying to show you his hand,
Mhm.
and sometimes God take us through stuff that we may not like. We may not like how it feel, but that's just God showing you how mighty he is. That's just him
Facts.
showing, look, everything is in my hands. If I allow for you to lose a job, then best believe I have another job coming for you, and it's going to pay more, and it's going to allow for you to do more, and it's going to put you in a position where you have more influence. I'm not
Facts.
going to take something away and not give you more.
Right.
And I think sometimes when we see stuff getting pulled away from us, we like, God, what you doing? Because the thing was, yeah, you had become comfortable.
Facts.
And that's what it is. God does not want us to become comfortable. As soon as we become comfortable, we're not growing.
Facts.
And the thing is, God be like, oh no, you're getting too comfortable. Let me take this away. Let me
Yep.
take this away. Now I'm about to mess with your health. Let me show you where you need to go.
Facts.
Let me make sure that you're moving, because I need you to continue to move. I need you to continue to persevere, because the thing about perseverance, that's about walking forward. You can't persevere if you're in the same position.
Stagnation,
If you're stagnant, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just sitting there, instead of walking forward. This thing is a walk.
Yeah.
It's not a run, it's a walk, And when you're talking, I heard, wait on the Lord, he will renew your strength.
Yeah.
And that's literally what clicked in my mind when you said you were trying to do stuff and it wasn't working. Like,
Yeah.
God not allowing you trying to do it in your own strength, God not allowing it to come to pass, not working, whatever like that. You trying, but God's like, wait on me.
Yeah.
Wait on me. I will renew your strength.
Yeah.
I will renew your strength. I will show you my hand. And it's just crazy how God works. And also, just speaking on that, when you talked about elevation, recently I had this, I think for like 6 months, this has been a trial for me because I couldn't go to church on Sundays.
Yeah.
And it was eating me alive because at the position I'm at, I need to be in church, just being a man of God, a new father, having a new baby, being an armor bearer, just growing, just in the, just wanting to be around my people or needing to be around the people to be built up and help them and everything like that.
Right.
So in that, with me having a job that pays very well, so the most I've ever got paid, but it's like I couldn't pick my schedule. It was like whatever schedule they give you or whatever like that. And they work 7 days a week as far as they're open 7 days a week.
Yeah.
We only have to work 5 days a week, but it's whatever 5 days they want you to have. You bid for shifts, but you only get it based off your seniority. So I was stuck watching sermons and watching the live. I'm at work watching the live, whatever like that. And I'm just like, man, I want to be there.
This ain't enough.
This ain't enough. It's not it. I'm longing to be there. I'm like, I started to like, man, you didn't really value when you had it. You know, that's why I thought this thing. You
Yeah.
didn't value it that much when you had it, because now that it got taken away from you in dire need of it. You know, I
Yeah.
used to pull on them men's meetings. Like that used to be had to be my Sunday, you
Facts.
know.
Facts.
So it became very important to me because I'm like, I ain't seen my brothers all week. You know, let me, So I had in the mindset, I was like, I'm coming back. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not. And it was even to the point where I wanted to be back so bad, I was willing to go to night shift. I said, I'm going to night shift because I'm not going to, I bid it for my days, I didn't get them. And I was like, all right, my next choice is going to night shift because that way I can come to Sunday service.
Yeah.
No sleep that I work Saturday and then have to, get home, no sleep, but be able to come to Sunday service, which, I didn't did it before. I'm not tripping long as I'm able to get there because I can get strength while I'm in there,
Facts. Facts.
Afterwards, I do be ready to fall
Pass out, right.
But while I'm there getting, fed, I be good, you
Yeah.
know. But the thing was, Brandon, I could have been like, nah, I'm just gonna stay here and be comfortable because day shift was comfortable for me.
Yeah.
Who wants to sacrifice their night, whatever like that. I don't think anybody, I would love to be at home with my wife and the kid and stuff like that. But I see the most important thing is me first still being that provider and then being able to get fed, to being able to make sure that I'm still persevering and not becoming stagnant in my faith. But the funny thing about now, recently, I had a supervisor, I had people come up to me and like basically, so in day shift, I had learned the supervisor, I got cool with the supervisor, and she put me in a job where I learned control room, where I learned something that was a level above my pay and things like that. But I be equipped to a different task. Like I learned how to work the whole control room, work the whole mail system in another area. So with me learning that, and then the funny part is it put me in the place of talking to supervisors, talking to plant managers, talking
Yeah.
to real important people
Yeah.
over the walkie, so to me, that's God giving me more influence, right?
Yeah.
So then I go to night shift, right? And I only been there for 2 weeks, right? So recently, the supervisor came to me. First of all, our tour don't have a supervisor. Our guy started showing me that your tour don't have a supervisor, Brandon. So I'm like, why? I'm seeing issues. Yeah, the structure off. These people doing this. You don't know where this. Like, it's just off, right? So recently, this lady was like asked about a supervisor position. Do anybody want to learn supervisor or whatever like that? And I was like, so I was like, no, part of me was like, nah, bro, I be seeing how y'all be getting yelled at. I don't want to indulge. I see, nah, y'all be,
Yeah.
So part of me wanted to stay comfortable or whatever like that. Cause I was like,
Yeah.
this easy, night shift easy. I just, and then the people around me was like, Brandon, why don't you do it?
Wow.
That's crazy, right? The people around me was like, hey, you should do it.
They see what you got.
So I'm like, no. So I asked, I'm like, pay wise, we getting supervisor pay if we do? She's like, yeah, after you go through training, whatever. So I did not say yes, right? So I went home. I was thinking about it, battling in my head, thinking about it, whatever. So I went home. I talked to my wife, whatever, like that. I was like, I was like, my supervisor, like, the lady had asked about me becoming a supervisor position or any, and I was like, I thought about it, and people started like saying my name and stuff like that, and I was just like, whatever, like that. And she was like, what's funny? She was like, I was on the phone with you, and I heard the people talking to you, and she was like, Brandon, when they were talking to you, it sounded like you were a person of a higher position, like in a
Wow.
sense, like you were
Already
like
there.
yeah, like it sounded like you were doing the job, like in a sense, like you were telling them like that. And I noticed people coming to me a lot, like, so I would say for anybody, the call comes from what's around you. Like it's not necessarily, it's a feeling, and it's also the move. Like if you notice, God elevating you, it will come through people. Like some people will let you know, like, hey, yeah, you meant to be up here. Like it's
That's
it's the
facts.
way, and they don't have to be, and it's not just believers. It's everybody, secular. Well, oh, they be like, so people will come to me and be like, hey, how you do this? Because my brain, I got a brain that's photographic memory. I remember that was supposed to go here. Hey, you said PTK, this how it's set up. So I'm telling people, they coming to me, hey, is this right? I'm like, yeah, that's right. Whatever like that. So I'm doing stuff that is above my job level,
Yeah.
whatever like that. So let me tell y'all this. So I didn't tell her anything, right? But I thought about it. And I was in my head, and fear was hitting me. And I'm just like, no, I don't think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do it. I don't know, whatever. Why did the other supervisor come to me and she joking around, right? And she was like, yeah, she was like, you better, she's like, yeah, you need to step up, whatever like that. And she was like, you could be the supervisor, like whatever like that.
That's crazy.
And she was like, yeah, why don't you, And I was like, I'll do it. Like, that's what I said to her. I was like, I'll do it. And the funny part, she thought I was playing with her. I came at the end of the day. And it was funny because I was like, am I going to go up there and do it? So I'm like, if she in there, whatever like that. So I'm like,
giving yourself a
out.
out.
I'm giving myself an out. I came up to her desk. I said, if you're serious about that supervisor position, I'm willing to train. And she was like, for real? And I was like, yeah. She's like, I'm gonna let them know. I was like, but
come on, man.
It's in that. It's in that, but this is speaking on perseverance right here, because I could have just stayed comfortable, stayed on day shift,
Facts.
and been sacrificing my Sundays. But I said, no, God, you are more important to me. My walk with you is more important than any dollar amount. But why is God now showing me, Brandon, I'm going to give you more. You're going to now receive more for your sacrifice. You're going to now receive more. And I just want to let anybody know, listen, stay on the course. You will receive more for your sacrifice. Dejon is now receiving more for his sacrifice.
Facts.
Because he stayed there. He stayed there and he was obedient. That's what it is. Your obedience during the season of trial is important.
Facts.
Your obedience, because the thing was, you know how many times I wanted to just not go to work on Sundays and come to church?
Facts.
I feel as a not good Christian, not going to church on Sundays, I felt like, how you not in church? Like, what do you, whatever. But the thing was, I had talked with Pastor. Pastor knew my situation. People knew my situation. It's not something I could change, whatever like that, But the moment I could change it, I changed it.
Yeah.
So, like, just be obedient. I know I was long-winded with that, but I promise you, look,
man,
just be obedient through the trial. Just listen to God through the trial. Don't listen to yourself. Because if you listen to yourself, you're gonna stay in that comfort position and you're gonna be stagnated. If I listened to myself, I wouldn't approach the lady who had another level for me to go.
Facts.
That had more for me. I wouldn't have approached. I wouldn't have, all right, I would not have met the need. I would not even seen the need, then had the wherewithal to go to pursue it. So it's about that perseverance. Perseverance.
Yeah, man. And I'm just sitting here thinking about it. Like, in the midst of all this, before I got my new gig, my boy Eric Carney, he preached. Go to Salt Mine Church page, go watch the message. And he's talking about clumpy faith. And he said in this message, he said, sometimes the bottom of your new is bigger than the top of your old. Tell me why that bro, that was one of the most fire lines I had heard anybody say. And it resonates with me because at my old gig, I had got a raise. And where I'm starting at now is more than the raise that I got back then. So if you don't persevere, if God. You don't stand in there, if you don't go through the shaking and the breaking and the stripping and the pulling off of and the tearing off of whatever God is trying to mold you into, you'll never be able to experience the bigger bottom than than the smaller top, if that makes any sense. Like you will never be able to experience your bottom being bigger than your bottom of your new being bigger than the top of your old, man. Like that was just so profound to me. And it's crazy because a week later I'm living it. I'm living it a week later. And
Come on.
it's just too wild. Like God wanted me to hear that. So when I come into it, I'll recognize even the more like this is only God. It's only God who placed me here. It's only God who allowed me to get to this point. And it's so wild to me because I was talking to my mom. I was telling her about how frustrated I was because I was frustrated because I didn't understand how to trust. I'm really learning how to trust. I was so frustrated. I was frustrated and I was anxious too because in my inability to trust, I didn't know where to go next.
Yeah, it caused anxiety.
Yes, I had no idea what should I do? Who should I turn to? Because like I said, funds was low. And we paid our rent, but it's another month that's about to come up. January is right around the corner. Christmas is right around the corner. My daughter's birthday is right around the corner, December 28th.
Yeah.
So you got Christmas, birthday, rent, another birthday. Like it's just, and I know birthdays may not be too important, but as parents,
Yeah.
important in as it relates in comparison to your rent or your bills and stuff. But as a parent, you still want to be able to do something for your child on their birthday. So all of that is going through my mind. And I'm talking to my mom and I'm talking to my mom about my frustration, my anxiety. And she's telling me like, God just wants you to be more serious about your ministry, about ministry, and serious about your faith. Focus more on spending more time with God, spending more time in the word. So all of this stuff is strategic because God needed me to go to a new level of focus, a new level of drive, a new level of zeal as it relates to ministry and getting the word out, like really, really getting the word out and not being afraid to step into things that I've been afraid to step into for years. Like God, He needed me to be more serious about that stuff. And had I never, had I never persevered, like had I never decided that, okay, Lord, I'm gonna listen for you, I would have never got that answer because that came at the beginning of me saying, okay, Lord, I need to turn to you. Lord, I need to direct my focus to you. I need to fix my eyes on you.
Mm-hmm.
That came at the beginning of that. And right at the beginning, he's just, as soon as I decided, he started speaking.
Come on.
When the decision was made, when I made that wholehearted decision, he started speaking to me immediately. Like to the point where, and it was it's crazy because it wasn't short. It wasn't long, the time between me making my decision and me receiving provision. It was a few days. I kid you not. It was a few days. And that tells me that all God needs you to do is have a made up mind. Man. All He wants you to do is have a made up mind. He like, okay, make up your mind. I'll take care of the rest. Make up your mind and I'll take care of the rest. Like everything just start opening up. Like the Red Sea just parted. And then all it took was for me to make up my mind. And in retrospect, it's like, dang, it was that easy.
Right.
But you don't see beyond. Sometimes you don't see beyond your situation. All you can see is the situation. So you're like, okay, I got to do something. I got to fight. I got to push. I got to do something. But all the while you're doing it without God, and you stuck there.
Yeah.
So
ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but it took that person. Man, perseverance is so important, and I think a lot of the reason why people, even myself, sometimes like it's hard to persevere. It's just simply because it's hard. We live in such a microwave society where it's like, okay, if I don't get this right here and now, I quit. I ain't doing it.
It's my money and I need it now.
Exactly. But it's funny because I think of the old man. Like I'm not saying that God is the old man, but I see God as that old man with the dollar on the fishing rod. Oh, you got to be quicker than that. You got to be better than that. You got to be stronger than that. You got to be wiser than that. You got to be better than that. And the thing about it, I look at that commercial all the time, and it's like, okay, you wanted the dollar from the old man and it was on his fishing pole. He completely had complete and total control over that dollar. So all you got to do is ask him for it, and he'll give you the dollar. But you still trying to snatch the dollar. You trying to do it yourself. Stop trying to snatch the dollar and ask for the dollar, and you shall receive. Ask, you shall receive. Knocking, the door shall be open unto you. But you want to kick the door down yourself.
Yeah.
But it ain't opening because you're trying to do all of it in your own power, your own strength, because you feel like it's easier that way. It'd be better for you that way. But in reality, it's not. Because if you just kick the door down, you're not learning nothing. Nothing is being built. No muscle is being strengthened. You just continuing on in your toxic mentality. And that's not how God wants us to be. He wants us to be better tomorrow than we were today. Better today than we were yesterday. And then nothing ever happened. Nothing can improve you if you just knocking everything down. You're not going through nothing. And in the midst of you going through, you're not understanding nothing. The perseverance helps you to the point where you go through things. It builds you. It makes you better. It makes you stronger. It makes you wiser. But a lot of people in this day and age, we don't want to go through anything. We don't want that lactic acid buildup.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We don't want to have to jab when our arms feel like it's falling off because it's too much. It's too hard. So
real talk, because like I don't that boxing thing just season of boxing just taught me a lot. Like perseverance was so real. Like so real. There was times I left the gym and I wanted to quit. Like right then, I'm done. Like I can't do this. I can't do this. Because it was hard. It was hard. Boxing was the most challenging thing I ever did as far as physical sport. Most challenging mentally. They say, I was watching listen to a podcast, Teddy Atlas, and he got a good podcast.
He be capping, but
yeah, he do be capping a little bit, but you can tell he know boxing.
He for sure does.
So, and then he also got that he got that spirit to kind of make you want to go fight, like as far as in a good way. Yeah. Like I can tell he's a good trainer. Yeah. Like he'd get to that corner and get you fired up.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that the fighting in the ring is 75% mental and 25% just your skill. It's just 75%. He it's 75% mental. But I just thought life is the battlefields in the mind. This life is probably 75% mental. Like 75% mental. Where we literally, that's why God tell you to renew your mind daily. Because he understands this. If I get, so a man think if he is. So a man think if he is. So if you think you this, then you are that. He has put the power in your mind to think, So when we don't renew our minds, we're left with default thinking. Facts. And the thing is,
factory setting, boy.
Facts. The factory said we back to the basics.
Shaped
because
in iniquity, boys.
Because we're not renewing it. We're not learning something different. We're not learning something different. So we go back to the insecurities. Yeah. We go back to I can't do this. You knew you couldn't do it in the first place. That's why you got him. But now you going back. Oh yeah, I can't go. That's why you don't have to go back there. Yeah. Go to him. Go to him. That's what the word is. Yeah. The word is there for. So just thinking about that boxing, there was so many times, when I tell y'all, I worked out in 100-degree weather. I mean, the gym, because you're trying to lose weight because you have to make a certain weight. So a lot of times those gyms are really hot. They turn up the heat because you're going to burn more calories. You're going to sweat more. So not only is it challenging just doing it, but now the humidity, the atmosphere is now hot. The atmosphere is now hot. The atmosphere makes it harder. So sometimes the atmosphere that you are around makes it harder. So it's not just what you're in. It's not just what you're doing. What you're doing is hard just in general, but the atmosphere that you're around makes it harder. Yeah. It makes it even harder. Sometimes God keep you in that same atmosphere so he can make it harder on you so you can submit. Yeah. So you can submit, God, I can't do this. He said, I knew you couldn't. That's why I'm here. Tag me in.
Right.
I've been here waiting on you. It's funny how God grace is so just amazing. Like he will literally sit there and wait on you to acknowledge him. Imagine a kid sitting there, it's only just sit there, waiting on you to acknowledge them and not saying, mommy, daddy, mommy, daddy, but just waiting there for as long as they need to wait. Oh my goodness, God is so good. God literally will wait there while you on all the nonsense,
Man.
waiting for you to acknowledge him. And then he's going to help you. He
Yep.
said, acknowledge him in all your
He'll
ways,
direct your
and
path.
he will direct your path.
Yeah.
A lot of times, we're not acknowledging him. We're not acknowledging him. We think we got to persevere by just in our own strength.
Yeah.
No, we don't. This is about acknowledging him and allowing for him to direct our path. Because sometimes we could be chopping at the tree and going hard, chopping at the tree, pop, pop, pop. But God said, chop at this spot, fall down.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we doing it in our own strength, chopping. We getting tired, we sweating, doing all this. But God said, right here, my son, right here, my daughter, chop, bang, now it's gone.
Yeah.
But the whole time we just sitting there just doing nothing.
Swinging. Because you get to the point, like, and I was even telling my mom this, like, you get to the point where you like, bro, I don't have no power to do anything. Like, I don't have the authority to do anything absent of God. Like, and when you get to that point where you're like, okay, I'm weak. That's the point that I had to get to. Like, I'm weak. I am literally not. I felt like that, which is why I was so frustrated and trying to do things on my own. I felt like if you can imagine how small Ant-Man was when he shrunk in the Marvel movies, that's how big I felt in trying to do all of this stuff by myself. But it's like I said, but when I acknowledged God in the midst of the situation, the weight was lifted off. The weight of all of those situations, the pressure of it was lifted off of me.
I'm just imagining Ant-Man right now. How he would get bigger.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's how you just felt bigger. Now everything is, before everything was just running over you. Like,
Facts.
everything was looking so big. But
Yeah.
now God gave you a different perspective.
Facts.
And just that's
Facts.
probably perspective, because even while little man is little, his perspective will cause him to think whether he's little or big.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter how big he got or whatever like that, but it's all perspective.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's what God was trying to change, your perspective.
For sure.
Yes, you're in this trial, but what's your perspective on this trial?
Yeah.
Do you know I'm right here? Do you know my hand is right here ready to
Facts.
bless you? What are you
Facts.
doing? What is your perspective while you're going through this?
Yeah.
Do you think I'm faithful? Do you think my son, do you think I see you?
Yes.
Do you think I see you?
Right.
Do you think I see you through this? Do you think I see you struggling?
I think my biggest point in that is, because like I said, I'm a perfectionist. So when you see me, how do you see me? How do you see me?
The insecurity.
The insecurity, the distrust. Like when you see me, so at that point, it's like a trickle down effect. When you see me like this, that gives, when I believe that you see me like this, that gives room for the enemy to come and
shame.
Like, yes, shame. Like Tony Harrison, living in my head rent free, like saying all of these things. And because I believe that God sees me a certain way at this point in time, because I'm not trusting him, I open the door for it. I open the door for it. So it's just a lot of different things that come into play when you choose not to choose God in the midst of your situations. But when you have that goal, that drive, like we always say in sports and hoop and just in life, when you got that dog in you, and you willing to do whatever to do what you got to do for Christ, your life, like he said, your perspective will change. The way that you handle and you look at situations will be completely different because you recognize that I can't do this without God. I'm gonna lose every single time. I'm gonna lose. So
Man, that's that's so deep. That's so deep. Oh, that's so deep. Perspective. Your perspective definitely helps. And I knew. Look, when I tell you I was excited for this podcast, the moment my bro said, "I'm good, bro," I said, "Bet." And then it's funny because I knew God had a topic that he had gave to him, and I wasn't gonna say that. I was like, so I told him I just asked him a question. I'm like, well, what's the topic, bro? I was like, you want to stick with the same topic that or you got something? He's like, I got something different. Go ahead, bro. Because I know during that time God is downloading something in you.
Facts.
And I was just like, bro, this podcast is gonna be amazing. This episode is going to be amazing. Facts. Because you really have something to talk about.
Yeah.
And it's different when you talk from experience. There's something that comes off. There's a passion that you have when somebody know you done been through something.
Yeah.
You can speak to so many people when people know you've been through something, where they can hear that you've been through something. They can
Facts.
feel that you've been through something.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much, excitement, so much zeal that you have, and people gravitate to that. People be like, oh, he's speaking to my heart. Like,
Facts.
Because they could be in that right now. And the message that God has given you, what he took you through, was not only for you, but it was for them also.
Exactly.
So the thing is, you persevere for the next person to persevere. You persevere for your son to persevere. You persevere for your daughter to persevere. You persevere for this person to persevere, for that person to persevere. It's a effect. Like Pastor had said something Sunday, or that might have been Wednesday. He had said something Wednesday about us being like fire.
Yeah.
Where we should be like fire. We should come in the house like fire, where soon as somebody touch us, they get on fire.
Yeah.
Our worship should be like fire. Like soon as you get near us, you should get that zeal. Oh yeah, I want to praise God. Like I can't, whatever like that, So the perseverance is like fire. It's like fire. It's like fire. Perseverance speak to so many people, because everybody goes through stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through stuff. And at times they want to quit.
Yeah.
At times they want to quit. But it's what you choose to do. You got the choice. God is waiting on you to make the choice. Yeah. He's waiting on you to make the choice. You have the ball is in your court. Yeah. The ball is in your court. You either want to dribble it and take it to the hole, or you want to sit down and just let it just sit there.
Let it bounce.
And somebody gonna take it. The enemy gonna take it and go score it. The enemy gonna keep scoring, keep putting you down, keep beating you up. Then he gonna give you the reins to beat yourself up. Now you just sitting here hitting yourself. Look how stupid you look, just punching. Imagine yourself just punching yourself. Facts. Just think, but mentally, that's how some of us do. Mentally, we just punch ourselves. Mentally, we just like, oh no, I can't do this. We hitting ourselves. I can't do this. Yeah. I can't. But God, like, yes, you can. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can. But we saying, no, I can't. No, I can't. No. What? He like, you don't believe me? You don't believe me? Do you believe my word? Is my word real? Yeah. Is my word true to you? And man, so perseverance is a tool in life that everyone needs. Yeah. Everyone needs to know how to persevere.
Facts.
Everyone has to know how to persevere. If you want to walk this walk, you have to know how to persevere. Yeah. You have to. Because life hits you. Life gonna hit you. Life gonna hit you. Yeah. And you have to move forward.
It's inevitable, man. Like, I'm just sitting here thinking about the scripture that says, rejoice when you go through diverse temptations. And your rejoicing comes from the understanding that I'm only in this situation so God can make me better. So that perseverance, when you decide that you're going to persevere, you're going to strive, you're going to push through, it teaches you how to rejoice. Because when you persevere and you go through a situation, you come out on the other side with the understanding, with the knowledge of why you went through, if you did it the correct way. you come through with an understanding, with the knowledge of why you went through. So when you go through another situation, you already know that, oh, I'm about to learn something in this situation. I'm gonna have to be better on the other side of this. So you should be happy that you gonna come out and be better on the other side of something, as opposed to, dang, why I'm here? What I do to get to this? What I do to deserve
Why
that?
me?
Exactly. Why not you?
Victim or conqueror?
Exactly.
What are you?
You get to be the person who goes through. Just like Job, he got to be the person who went through all of that situation. And you know what happened on the other side of that? He got double of everything that he lost. Kids and all, he got double.
God's not gonna let you go through something. God's not gonna allow for stuff to be taken from you, and He not give you double, and He not give you more than what got taken from you.
Yeah.
Pastor Al has a testimony like that.
The poster child for it.
Poster child. He had the house taken away. He got double that, triple that, quadruple that. Like, so God, Dejon, poster child. God's not going to allow for stuff to happen to you and He not show you who He is.
Yeah.
He not give you more. He loves us. He loves us.
Yes.
He loves us. He said He get good gifts to His children.
Facts.
He said the enemy can get good gifts. You think I'm
right.
Like, you think I'm not going, give
Right.
you, or you think I'm not there to provide? That one worship song where they talk about the lily.
If he dresses the lily. Yeah.
That scripture,
Error.
that scripture, like, man, that scripture beats me up. Like, because we be doubting for real.
Facts.
He said, if he dresses the lily, how much more? How much more? How much more will He do for you? How much more?
Mm-hmm.
If He cared that much about grass, you think He don't care? You think He don't care that much about you?
Yep.
You think He don't? You think He don't care? Man, that beats me up. Because at the moment I get to thinking like that, I think, no, why you worry? Why God loves you. God sees you. He care about a lily. He care way more about you than that.
Facts.
So
Facts.
you think, man, that's why I love him. I love the word, because it's just, we be in our heads, and when we in our heads, we gotta have that word. That word has to go forth to take down them imaginations.
Yeah, cast them boys down,
man. But you got anything to leave off with?
Man.
It was like, yeah.
This was a great conversation, man. I'm just happy to be a part, bro. Honestly, I'm glad to be back.
Man,
I missed y'all.
Yeah, miss you too, bro. It's easier doing it with two people. One person, I just gotta, pull from myself and just, pull from the Holy Spirit now. Yeah. But it's easier to have a conversation and go back and forth. And
I'm chasing 10,000 right now.
Man, facts. So we just thank y'all for just listening to us, because you don't have to. And facts. We value time, and we understand that you probably value time. And if you are to take your time out to listen to us, we are humbled.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
We just hope that God can show you what perseverance is. Nice. He can truly walk you through perseverance. So for everyone going through a trial, from everyone going through things, I just want to let you know that God sees you.
Yeah.
And He's waiting on you. God has every means to bless you, but He's waiting on you. He's waiting on you to submit to Him so that He can bring you everything that you need. He sees you. He sees you. Your Father sees you, and He's waiting on you. So I just say, get out your head and focus on Him.
Amen.
And He's gonna bless you. Amen. So all merch is available, thehopemedicine.com. That's where you can find my merch. And then you say your website always. I know it, but I don't know it that well.
All right, it's openheart.luxurybrand.shoes. So go check it out.
Yep. So go check it out. Support the podcast. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You can subscribe on the YouTube, and just continue to follow, share, like, share, comment. We love to hear comments. We love
Subscribe.
facts. We love to hear how you feel about the message. We
Facts.
love to hear what it's doing for you. That encourages us. That's what causes us to get up
Continue.
and
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
We don't do it regardless, but it gives us more excitement. We love to see that we're having an effect on people.
Facts.
Plain and simple. Like
Facts.
that's what we do it for.
Little
If we
extra motivation.
if we just wanted to talk, we'd just sit here and we wouldn't have this, but we want for it to get to other people and help them.
Yeah.
So we just thank y'all. I'm Brandon Rowe.
Dejon Palmer.
And we signing out. This is episode 7, titled Perseverance. So you persevere. And we are out of here.
Love y'all, man.
Yes, sir.